Hi, Anyika. Thank you so much for this opportunity to have a conversation with me about your play, Femme, Do No Harm. I am very grateful. The Daughters of the African Atlantic are grateful as well for your conversation. So I want to just begin with the first question. You probably recall back in 2016 when I, Evelyn Parker, approached you and asked if you would be interested in writing a play for around these women, Betsey, Anarcha, and Lucy, that were the only women that were mentioned in the biography or autobiography of Marion Sims. And you embraced this project. And tell me, what got you excited about it?
Oh, the subject matter. And good morning to you, Dr. Parker. And just thank you for opening this door and introducing me to this story. I was curious as a human being, as a Black woman, and then felt privileged as an artist to be a part of this project. So this was truly an opportunity for me to learn and to give voice to Anarcha, Betsey, and Lucy, these two women who I consider to be ancestors, and who epitomize truly, one horrible aspect of the enslavement that took place here in America.
Thank you. Three women whose names were mentioned in the autobiography, but who knows, there were others, many more that names were never mentioned. And in a sense, their legacy is to name those women who were not named.
So, say their names.
Yes, say their names, exactly. So what have you learned in this whole process from reading the biography or the autobiography and now a play and a film, and now it's going to be at the Wiley Theater in Dallas. So what have you learned in this whole process?
Well, I've learned, just to appreciate my ancestors more, these women and their resilience. I've learned the power of African people telling our own stories, to give voice to our stories, because, the fact is that many people do not know these women, and Dr. Marion Sims didn't even think to expound on who these people were because he didn't see them as women. So I think it's very important for us to embrace our history and to tell the truth of our experience in that history. And then I was really blown away and floored by how this project was received locally, nationally, in a pandemic. We were able, my theater company was able to pivot in producing this piece that was originally a play and to film it. And it was received very well. By all kinds of people, by Black people, by white people, by intellectuals, by different universities and various artists. It really resonated. And so I think the time was really now for Anarcha, Betsey, and Lucy's story to be heard, which was such a surprise, a beautiful surprise. And so I truly am privileged to bring the story to the forefront, thanks to your insight and from the point of view that you inspired in telling this story, is to tell this from a point of view of faith, of sisterhood, and that was really a joy, a beautiful undertaking.
Thank you. So, in light of that, what do you think this might mean, or this film might mean for Black women's health?
Well, unfortunately, Black women, African women throughout the world still struggle to be heard when it comes to our own bodies. True, no one owns our bodies anymore, our livelihoods, as it was the case during colonialism and enslavement. But still, in 2021, Black women still don't have the agency that we should have as human beings over our bodies. When we're in pain, unfortunately, too many people in the medical community might not think we're really in the pain that we're in, or that we really are hurting, or that our pain isn't like other people's pain. I mean, it's the same type of mentality that Dr. Marion Sims had, and in all of the experimenting he did on these enslaved women, treating them as cattle, treating them as animals and not as human beings. So the fact that we're still having to struggle to be heard, Serena Williams is one example who, in giving birth to her daughter a few years ago, telling the doctors that something was wrong with her and having to fight to be heard. And thank God she was persistent, or she may not even be with us today. So that's just one example of, I'm sure, thousands and thousands of examples of women, Black women not being heard, or our pain being interpreted in a different way.
Thank you. And thank you so very much for your time. Thank you very much for your talent and your gift to us through Do No Harm. We really appreciate this. The
You're welcome.
African and Atlantic Fund really appreciate you doing this for us. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's an honor and a privilege.